Welcome everyone to Victoria. So today we're going to go over the history, the geography and climate, some sites and activities, holidays and events, and food, and then we're finally going to finish it off with some fun facts. All right, so let's start off with the geography. Victoria, the capital of British Columbia, is situated on the southern tip of Vancouver Island and is between the Juan de Fuca and Haro Straits. The city is the largest urban area on the island, and it covers an area of 695 square kilometers, or 432 square miles. The area has rolling lowlands, and the older deltas and shorelines indicate previous glacial activity, where the terrain has risen 90 meters. Here's just another map depicting Victoria down here, and then Vancouver's right here. All right. So now we're going to go over the history. Victoria is on the ancestral lands of the Coast Salish First Nations, who have lived there for thousands of years. Captain James Cook landed on Vancouver Island in 1778. A Songhees fortified village existed at Finlayson Point in Beacon Hill Park. After the establishment of Fort Victoria in 1854, the village was moved across the harbor into what is now Victoria West. The distinct families were separated into three groups that spoke different dialects of the North Straits Salish, or Lekwungen language. In 1849, Vancouver Island became a British colony and had Fort Victoria as its capital. Once a predominant trading hub, Victoria was soon popular for its agriculture, forestry, and coal deposits. However, there were never more than a few hundred residents until the discovery of gold in 1858. The discovery of gold on the lower Fraser River resulted in a population boom of over 30,000, as over 30,000 gold miners arrived in search of this precious metal. The prospect of gold attracted a diverse population of immigrants to the colonies of Vancouver Island. There was also a similar movement with the California Gold Rush. A lot of these immigrants came during that time as well. All right, the weather. Victoria is located in the sub-Mediterranean region and exhibits an average of around 2,193 hours of sunshine each year. There is an average annual rainfall of 58.3 centimeters, or 23 inches. The city has a very low humidity ratio and faces lots of constant offshore breezes, which prevents the summer days from becoming too hot. During the summer, temperatures average at around 25 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. During the winters, the city has an average temperature of 7 degrees Celsius or 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Although there is limited snow during the winters, it is typically cold from November to March. Now we're going to go over some sites and fun activities to do. The Butchart Gardens. The gardens are located on a short drive from downtown Victoria, but it is one of the most exquisite sights to see in the city. Even in the winter, many species of flowers and shrubs grow. During the colder seasons, the gardens have an outdoor skating rink and an amazing display of lights during Christmas time. Some of the most beautiful parts of the garden include the Italian garden, the rose garden, the Japanese garden, and the sunken garden. And off to the right, here are some images of some of the wonderful flowers, the colorful plants that are in the gardens. Walk by Inner Harbor. Inner Harbor is one of the main attractions in the city and is an excellent spot for tourists. Many of the city's most popular sites are located on the harbor or within walking distance. Many people choose to stroll along the waterfront and pass by the Empress Hotel or Parliament buildings. These sites will be covered in later slides. And in the harbors, there are many boats that are ready to give tours of the city and horse carriages that walk by the streets. Craigdarroch Castle. Craigdarroch Castle is considered a centerpiece of Victorian architecture and is one of the city's national historic sites. Scottish entrepreneur Robert Dunsmuir built the building in the 1880s. There are elegant rockland centers and government houses that surround the home, and although the house is open to the public, there are no elevators or ramps. Visitors can also visit the Royal BC Museum. The Royal BC Museum is one of Canada's best cultural history museums. Some of the exhibits in the museum include a walk through a rainforest and a site to learn about the First Nations people's struggles after European settlement. Thunderbird Park resides outside the museum, and Helmicken House, which is the oldest residence in BC, that is still located at its original site. Visitors can also enjoy afternoon tea at the Fairmont Empress Hotel. The Fairmont Empress Hotel is Victoria's historic hotel that has hosted many notable figures, including members of the British monarchy. Architect Francis M. Rattenbury designed the Empress before World War I. Make a reservation to enjoy high tea in the elaborate lobby lounge. And the north side of the hotel has a collection of a few dozen miniature scenes in their Miniature World exhibit. You can also visit the Parliament buildings, which I believe they're located a short walk behind the Empress Hotel. British Columbia's provincial government parliament buildings are located at the southern side of Inner Harbor. These stone buildings have organized gardens and are surrounded by lights during the nighttime. At the top of the dome, there's a statue of Captain George Vancouver, who was the first to circumnavigate Vancouver Island. Visitors can also shop or eat at Market Square. Market Square is one of Victoria's most unique shopping areas, and it's an open-air area behind wonderful restored historic buildings. There are many patios throughout the area, and the main square invites many live performances. The square has a bunch of boutiques, restaurants, and services. There are also specific art, jewelry, and craft stores as well. You can also visit Fort Rod Hill National Historic Site. Fort Rod Hill National Historic Site is around 13 kilometers west of Victoria and was used as a British naval base. The fort has lots of hideouts for children to explore and historic guns to look at. Fiskard Lighthouse lies right by the fort and was the first lighthouse on the west coast of Canada. All right, so let's talk about some food. A notable type of bread is focaccia bread from Pagalates. The bread is iconic for its light, fluffy, chewy, and flavorful dough. Wild Pacific salmon is also very popular. British Columbia is known for its amazingly fresh seafood. No matter if it's broiled, baked, or smoked, visitors must try this tasty fish. Nanaimo bars are also very popular. They are a combination of brownie, pie, and cookie that were invented in the city of Nanaimo, which is a few hours from Victoria. It is a delicious square of sweet yellow custard sandwiched in layers of wafer like coconut-flavored graham crackers, and it's topped with a layer of chocolate. The best place to get these delectable treats are the Dutch Bakery and Coffee Shop or Ruth and Dean. Fish chowder is also very popular. It is a creamy soup that is warm and inside smoky and subtle sweet flavors. The chowder also incorporates lots of veggies such as potato, kale, and carrots, and it's extremely popular, especially during the colder months. The best place to try this chowder is at the restaurant Red Fish Bluefish. Bannock bread is a traditional yeast-free bread that was a staple of early settlers and indigenous diets. It can be fried or baked and incorporates different seeds, dried fruits, and seasoning. It is very light and airy, and many families in Victoria have their own recipe. It can be eaten with jam, with sugar and cinnamon, and many other ways. Visitors can purchase bannock bread at Songy's Seafood and Steam, which serves this type of bread with a side of blackberry preserves as well. All right, now we're going to discuss some holidays and festivals. Victoria Day. Victoria Day is a Canadian public holiday that is celebrated every year on the last Monday before May 25th. It is celebrated in honor of Queen Victoria and marks the beginning of the summer season. During this special day, the Island Farms Victoria Day Parade is hosted. Previous parades have attracted tens of thousands of spectators and have included lots of marching bands, musical floats, and cultural decorations. TD Victoria International Jazz Fest. The Jazz Fest is a 10-day music festival that starts on June 24th. The festival features jazz, blues, and lots of local cultures. It is the longest running multi day professional music festival and is produced by the Victoria Jazz Society. And finally, we're going to conclude it with some fun facts. Victoria is known internationally as the City of Gardens. Victoria's Chinatown is the oldest in Canada. And Victoria has been named the most romantic city in Canada and one of the top 15 friendliest cities in the world. There are also 500,000 cups of tea served annually at the Fairmont Empress Hotel. The world's tallest freestanding totem pole is in Victoria's Beacon Hill Park. And Victoria is one of the most bike-friendly cities in the country, with hundreds of kilometers of cycle paths and bike lanes. And that concludes our tour. Thank you so much for visiting Victoria.